Hey, it's another Wednesday. You know what it is, man. It's all about this you heard pod. As you can see, I'm dolo. I'm solo, man. Nobody's with me. Ben is chilling somewhere in a remote location. CB at work. Or he said he's at work. You know what I mean? He's at work. But so I'm here rolling for Dolo, man. I didn't want to bother anybody on this fine Wednesday evening. I could have got somebody to come host with me, my guy Poke. He would have came through and hosted with me, man. I could have probably tried to holler at my guy Steve O. You know, could have called my guy A Black. I could have got Groove. Salute to Groove. He about to be a first time father. Salute to my guy Groove, man. Um, could have got the big dog flow, but I'm gonna go solo, man, and knock this out. Shout out to About the Fans, man. Look at this. You see that heat right there. Go check them out. Um, you see the You Heard Podcast.com below, man. We launched the website a couple weeks ago. We got merch on there. We got our shows. All of our shows are on there. So check us out, man. We're gonna get into this. You know what week it is. You know what week it is, man. We're not gonna talk about what's been talked about. On our Wednesday shows, we focus on the opponent coming up, man. We get all we can out about the previous week, and now we focusing on the next opponent, which is them boys in Tallahassee, man. So let's get it. Let's talk, man. We're gonna talk.
Welcome to the You Heard Podcast with your hosts, Ben, Joe, and CB. We're here to cover everything related to Miami Hurricanes football, from hot topics to pre- and post-game analysis.
All right, we'll talk about it at the end. We'll talk about it.
No, let's talk about that right now because you completely flipped it on me now.
I hate him for knowing this, bro. This man knew the brand, dog.
Okay, I don't appreciate that. I'm saying, like, I don't appreciate.
What did you say? What are we talking about, son?
Get into our topic.
I feel keeping it a buck.
You heard?
Yes. Thank you for joining me this evening, man. We're gonna talk about Florida State this whole episode, man. I wanted to do something a little different. I wanted to do an honest position by position comparison for Florida State. I didn't want to look at numbers too much because numbers are skewed, man. You have to have context with the numbers. And I'll give examples of that. But I wanted to have an honest look at each position. I understand that Florida State's undefeated, and salute to them. They handling their business. I can't knock it. Miami has played well. Other than, the obvious, the one position, the team has played well. Like if you've been watching football, there are people, fans who don't watch anybody but their team, so they wouldn't know how Miami is playing. We watch Miami. I watch Miami. I watch football though. I'm a football fan, so I watch all teams. I watch all games. Saturday at noon to Saturday at midnight. I'm watching games, man. So you can see what's going on. So I wanted to just do a quick position by position comparison. First, man, I want to give some love to people, man. I want to give some flowers, man. First, my guy David on Twitter, man. David Stout. Listen, he just hooked me up with some tickets to the Louisville game, man. I wasn't even thinking about it's next weekend. And I wasn't even thinking about it, man. And he hit me up and he's not going to the game. He was like, yo, you can have these 2 tickets. I appreciate you, David, man. That's real. I appreciate you. He's a North Carolina guy, man. He lives in North Carolina, and I see him occasionally at games. So I appreciate you, David. Salute to the content creators, man. Salute to Flo and his network. All the shows that he has, man. John, Max, Lex, Steve-O, all those guys over there, man. They do a dope job. I love watching all the shows. Salute to Coach Hayes. He's always doing it, man. Great to watch. I love watching Coach Hayes, man. Salute to CB, my guy. Watching videos with the recruits. That's so dope, man. It's a dope show. Everybody should be watching that. Salute to Dono. Dono does it every day. I don't know how he does it every day, but there's plenty of content, and he does it every day, and he's been doing it at such a high level, man. So shout out to Dono. Shout out to everybody doing Kane content, man. Shout out to all the fans, man. All right, so we have to go up to Tallahassee this weekend, man. It's a rivalry game, so we can throw all this nonsense out the window, man. Everything about last year, 2 years ago, last week, we can throw this shit out the window. I think the Miami coaching staff knows how important this game is, not only for the team, but for recruiting, for the city, for the fans. Like, they know how important this is, man. So I really think they're going to do the right thing. I think they're going to put a good game plan together. I think they're going to put the right personnel on the field. I think they're going throw the kitchen sink. I think because this is the game. This is the game. You got to have it. And let's think about it. Let's keep it a buck. Think about, yes, we've lost games we shouldn't have lost. NC State, come on, son. We shouldn't have lost that game. Georgia Tech, come on, son. We shouldn't have lost that game. North Carolina, we should have been more competitive. But think about the 2 games so far that we've considered the big games, right? Clemson and Texas A&M. Think about those 2 games, man. No, Clemson is not what Clemson has been, but Clemson still has talent all over the field. Texas A&M has proven to be better than what people thought, and they have talent all over the field. So think about the performances in those games. It's been, fantastic performances in those games. This is another huge game. Like I said, the implications are massive, especially on the recruiting front. You have a lot of, like, Florida State is undefeated right now. Florida State is fighting for a playoff bid. If Florida State beats us and finishes undefeated and goes to the playoffs, that's going to be huge. That's going to be huge for them. So I think the coaches know what's at stake here, man. And if they don't, and we see the same thing, there got to be some questions. There has to be some questions, man. So let's get into this breakdown, man. We'll start off on the offensive side of the ball. We'll start off with the quarterback. So obviously Jordan Travis is having a good year. He's throwing for almost 2,500 yards, 19 touchdowns, 2 picks. His passer rating is 156, 156.5. Completion percentage is at about 64.5. So he's having a decent season. We know Tyler Van Dyke has struggled. We know number 9 has struggled. But look, if we're just looking at numbers, right? TVD has thrown for 2,000 yards, a 67% completion percentage, and he has a higher passer rating at 148. So if we're just looking at that, he's thrown 16 touchdowns, and then we get into 11 picks. That's where you're losing it at. Jordan Travis has thrown for 19 touchdowns and 2 picks. So, you know, the turnovers are what the issue is. So, but if you're just looking at the numbers, Tyler Van Dyke has a higher passer rating. Tyler Van Dyke has a higher completion percentage. But we know, we watched the game, right? So we know Jordan Travis clearly has the edge. Florida State clearly has the edge at quarterback. So let's move on to running back. And this is, something that I went back and forth with, but we know Trey Benson. Trey Benson is nice. I like Trey Benson. I like the way he runs the ball. But after Trey Benson, you have a huge drop-off. Trey Benson has rushed for 640 yards. He's averaging 6.5 yards a carry. He has 8 touchdowns. After that, he has 97 carries. After that, you get into Jordan Travis as the second leading rusher. He's the quarterback. He has 194 yards on 64 carries. Obviously, sacks are added in there. But Tuafuli is the next running back. He only has 44 carries. You know what I mean? He's averaging 6 yards a carry. But there's a huge drop-off after Trey Benson at the running back position. Miami has a stable. Henry Parrish, Chaney, Fletcher, A.J. Allen. Those guys are all averaging over five yards a carry or over. All of them. So you have 4 running backs averaging 5 yards a carry or over. So to me, Miami gets the edge there simply because of the room. You can throw 4 running backs that can run at a high level, and they all can do different things. You can run 4 running backs out there. So, in my opinion, Miami gets the edge there. Offensive line, we're not going to talk about that. We know who gets the edge there. Stop playing. If we're being honest, stop playing. Miami has the clear edge on the offensive line. Clear edge. Tight ends. Now, this was supposed to be a room that Miami was supposed to thrive in. The tight end room was supposed to be, preseason. That room was one of the rooms that we deemed as being one of the best in the ACC, man. We had Arroyo coming back from injury. We had Skinner. We thought it was going to be a pass-catching machine. Freshman, Riley Williams. Cam McCormick came over. 8th-year senior came over, to add some experience to that room. Jackson Carver. We thought we had the room sewn up, but, I don't know that let me see. Cam McCormick has 6 catches for 51 yards, no touchdowns. Riley Williams has 5 catches for 47 yards and 1 touchdown. Jaleel Skinner has 1 catch for 9 yards. Yeah. Florida State has that guy, Jaheim Bell, over there, and I like him. He's a complete. They use him all over the field. Tight end, H-back. He lines up wide. They line him up in the backfield. He's a problem over there, man. His stats are not crazy. He has 31 catches, 365 yards, but he's averaging 11 yards a catch, almost 12 yards a catch. He only has 2 touchdowns, but they use him. They use him like I said, they use him everywhere, man. So he's a problem. I like Jaheim Bell. He's a football player. So Florida State clearly has the edge at tight end. So let's move to receivers. Now, some people would say there's a clear edge at receiver. I don't think so. I think Keon Coleman is the best receiver on the field. I do think that. Keon Coleman has 38 catches, 538 yards, 14 yards a catch and 9 touchdowns. You know what I mean? So he's a weapon at punt return. He's definitely a good returner. He catches the ball. He's a problem. He's the best receiver on the field, in my opinion. Now, Johnny Wilson, to me, is just big for nothing. I'm gonna keep it above. Like, he's with his size, he should be doing a lot more. He has 25 catches for 400 yards, 415 yards. He's averaging 16 yards a catch. He has 2 touchdowns. And he drops the ball way too much. So after those 2, there's a huge drop off. There's a massive drop off. The next guy is Kyle Morlock with 17 catches for 236, about 14 yards a catch, no touchdowns. Then you got Marquiston Douglas with 2 touchdowns, 9 catches. It's a huge drop off after that. So if you wanna say Florida State has the edge at receiver because of Keon Coleman, I mean, I guess, but Miami has X, they have Kobe Young, and they have Jacoby George. So I just read off the stats for Keon Coleman, but you have in those 3, X, Jacoby, and Kobe. X, Jacoby, and Kobe. X has 60 catches. Jacoby has 41. Kobe has 36. They're all averaging over 10 yards a catch. X is averaging 11.5. Jacoby's averaging 13.5. Kobe's averaging 13. And Kobe and X have 4 touchdowns, and Jacoby has 5. So as a 3-headed mouse, as a group, now I'm comparing the groups, the positions, not just one player. So yes, Keon Coleman is the best receiver on the field, complete receiver. He can catch. He has the size. He runs decent routes. He'll go get the ball, 50-50 balls. He's physical. He's the best receiver on the field. But Miami has 3 good, well-rounded receivers. And they all can catch the ball. They all can take it to the house. So I'm giving the edge to Miami at the wide receiver position. Simply, again, 3 receivers, 1 receiver. And keep it a buck, man. If there's some Florida State fans, whatever, keep it a buck, man. Johnny Wilson, come on, man. Come on, stop playing. He's not that guy like that. Big for nothing, like I said. All right, so I'm gonna even go to offensive coordinators. I'm gonna keep it above. Mike Norvell calls the plays. He's a problem. He's one of the best play callers in the country. Look at this guy. Man. This dude just want to pop. Yo, this dude can't even be on vacation, man.
Hey man, listen. I'm gonna let me get 60. Let me get 30 seconds.
Hiding from wifey right now.
No, son. First of all, son, I got a guest suite. Don't be disrespectful out here. All right. Hey, real quick.
Hey, listen. He's getting some milk.
I asked for permission. I ain't crazy. Real quick. This is all I'm gonna say. Look.
Yes, sir.
All I'm gonna say. Fuck Florida State forever. That's never gonna change.
Okay.
Right. That's never gonna change. I think they overrated as fuck.
Okay.
I was starting to do some looking, so I'm not even gonna waste my time. I know they're overrated. I know that schedule's trash.
Okay.
But I'm already starting to hear whispers. If who we think is starting, I don't know, son. I'm all over the place with this one. I'm hoping it's somebody else, but if it's who, I'm not gonna say the name no more. I'm not gonna say it if people get on me, right?
You've been poking around.
I've been listening. I've been seeing certain tweets, and I don't like what I'm seeing. I'm sure you know better. We haven't really talked. I've been on vacation. Just want to jump on real quick and just say, fuck Florida State forever. I want to make sure I got that on the record before, you know what I'm saying, before the game and after. You know, you already know how we gonna cook, man.
Okay.
So that's
I was being cordial, but
nah,
you know,
no, but
you
I'm.
know, this is
You know what this is? Sorry.
back and everything.
Yeah, it's like it's Key and Peele. You know, like the angry Obama.
Yes.
I'm saying you could be the cool. You could be the cool one. And I'm saying I'm gonna be the reckless one. That's how we do this. So they see my face and they know I said it. So fuck Florida State forever. That's all I got.
All right.
All right, man. I'll let you finish up, brother. All right, man. We'll talk.
My guy. Yes, sir.
Peace.
I love it. See what happens? Cats pop on, man. You know what I mean? That's what it is. Yeah. I was saying Mike Norvell is one of the best play callers in the country, man. So I don't know what's going on with Shannon Dawson with the play calling. I feel like it's become a little vanilla, and maybe it's had to be because of the quarterback play. So I'm not in the building, so I don't know what's going on. Heard some rumblings here and there, but nothing I can confirm, so I don't know what's really going on with that. But Florida State clearly has the edge play calling wise, offensive coordinator wise, clearly. So let's go to the defensive side of the ball, man. D-line, right? So this can be considered close, right? So we can look at numbers like we obviously know what Ruben Bain is doing, but there are people who are not talked about as much because they're not freshmen. Ruben Bain is an anomaly. He's a freshman who's just getting busy, and that's not supposed to happen on the D-line like it's happening. So teams are starting to take notice. NC State doubled a lot. Like NC State did a lot to disrupt Ruben Bain. And I would imagine Florida State will do the same thing because they have nobody who can block Ruben Bain on that O-line. Nobody. So if you look at Ruben Bain's numbers, right? So 29 tackles total, 8.5 tackles for a loss, 6.5 sacks. That's far and away the best numbers on either side. So numbers wise, on either side, he has the best numbers. So on Florida State side, you have what's who's supposed to be the best D lineman on their team, and in the ACC, people were saying Jared Verse. 26 total tackles, 6.5 tackles for a loss, 4.5 sacks. Then to me, who I think is a problem, I like Patrick Payton. I like watching Patrick Payton, man. He's long, he has a motor, he disrupts a lot, man. He has 21 tackles, 7.5 for a loss, and he has 3 sacks. And Josh Farmer in the middle, he can be disruptive in there at times. He's kind of inconsistent, but he can be disruptive in there at times. He has 20 tackles, 5 for a loss, and 3.5 sacks. After that, you have a drop off. So Ruben Bain, like I said, has 29 tackles, 8.5 for a loss, and 6.5 sacks. That's the best on either side. Then you have Jared Harrison Hunt, who's been playing very well. Like, these guys are unselfish in there. Jared Harrison Hunt, Branson Dean, Leonard Taylor. It's kind of spread out regarding the production, but what they're being asked to do won't really show up on a stat sheet, and they're doing it well. So I think as a whole, Miami's D line gets the edge for me as a whole, because it's not just Ruben Bain. You got Jared Harrison Hunt. You have Leonard Taylor. You have Branson Dean. You have Jafari Hari. You know, Jaden Wayne, freshman coming up. You know, you have as a whole, their D line is just they're doing their job. You know, you can't run on this defense like you can on Florida State's defense. Like it's been proven. All right, so let's move back to linebacker. You know, I think again, like I just have to go off of as a whole group, man. The linebacker group at Miami. Francisco in the middle. KJ Cloyd, Wesley Bassint, Corey Flagg. So let's just give you those four, right? For Florida State, you have what's the kid? I like him actually. Kalen DeLoach. He's a problem. I like him, man. I think he leads the team in tackles, which he does. He has 49 tackles, 8.5 tackles for a loss. He has 5 sacks. No doubt. He's a problem. But again, you kind of fall off after that. Like you fall off. Like DJ Lundy is cool. He's cool. But inconsistent, man. Inconsistent. And then after that, like you don't have anybody coming in to give you quality. I understand they run the 4-2-5. They sometimes go to a 4-3, but so you're only gonna have 2 linebackers most of the time, but it's really those 2. Like it's really those 2. So you know, Miami can trot out, like I said, Francisco, Wesley, Corey Flagg, who's played a ton of football. KJ Cloyd, you know, who's played a ton of football. He's playing fantastic. So as a whole, we gotta look at it as a whole, man. I got to get an edge to Miami at the linebacker spot as a whole. Now I'm gonna go to corner. I'm gonna do corners and safeties separately. Safeties. Come on, man. James Williams, Cam Kitchens. Florida State has what's the kid's name? Renardo Green. I think he's a safety, right? Or is he a corner? I think he's a safety, Renardo Green. All right, so the safety position, man. You got Cam, you got James Williams back there. For Florida State, you got I think Conrad Hussey and Quadarius Jones back there, a couple young boys. You know what I mean? I think they're gonna be solid, but they're young guys right now, man. You have to go with Cam and James Williams. They're playing at a high level right now. They are playing at a high level right now, man. Widely regarded as the best safety tandem in the country, let alone the ACC. So you have to give the edge to Miami. Even, I understand, but you have to. So let's go corners. This I can give the edge to Florida State as a whole right now. I think Jaden Davis, to Corey Couch, he's a nickel, and Darryl Porter Jr. I think Darryl Porter Jr. is one of the best corners in the ACC. I like Jaden Davis at corner. I would rather him be used the way he was being used earlier in the season. But, whatever. Jaden Davis has seen a lot of football. To Corey Couch he's playing solid. I think he's playing better, but a little bit inconsistent, but I think he's playing better. And then you could come off the bench with the Brown brothers. So I think it's solid. I think we have solid cornerback play. Now, if you want to look at the numbers, we've given up a lot of receiving yards, but that's mostly in like garbage time. Like last game, NC State had 5 yards, the third of total offense, man, going into late in the fourth quarter. Then they had a couple drives late in the game. But nah, so at corner for Florida State, Akeem Dent. I like Akeem Dent. He's solid. You got Renardo Green back there. You got Greedy Vance, Fentrell Cypress. I think he transferred from Virginia, if I'm not mistaken. Hold on, I'm getting my blurry thing. There you go. Yeah, I think he transferred over. He's solid. He's cool. I think you have a little bit more athleticism on the Florida State side at corner. A good mix of experience and young guys over there. They're very aggressive. They are very aggressive over there. I like the way they play. So I can give the edge to Florida State at corner, I believe. So defensive coordinator, yeah, I have to give the edge to Coach Guidry at defensive coordinator, man. Like, I just have to. Like, he has them boys playing at a supreme high level, man, with all the injuries. Top 25 in the nation in a lot of defensive categories, man. Florida State has had their struggles on defense. They've had their struggles, man. They've won because they have a competent other side of the ball. They have a good, solid quarterback who doesn't make mistakes. Obviously, he only has 2 interceptions the whole year. He knows how to take care of the ball. He knows how to get his team out of trouble. So the defense has benefited from a solid offense that hasn't put them in too many bad positions. Miami's defense has been put in bad positions a lot, and they've held up for the most part. So I'm gonna get that as to Coach Guidry all day. We'll talk about the special teams a little bit in just a moment.
Welcome to Caneswear.
New store, new items, same great experience. Family owned and operated since 2010, Caneswear has the latest merchandise from the Miami Hurricanes, Miami Dolphins, Florida Panthers, Inter Miami CF, and more. Come visit us at our store in Davie on University Drive, just south of 595, or online at caneswear.com. Caneswear, the spot Miami fans shop.
Hey, I'll be there next week. Brett, Jeff, let's go, man. I'm gonna holla at y'all. Caneswear, go check it out. They have everything you need. Basketball season coming up. I know it's time to get your basketball gear up. Get them Canes, make it to the tournament this year, make it to the Final Four championship. get your basketball game, your gear up. Miami football is going to a bowl game too, so support still gear out there, man. But Caneswear is the spot, man. Yeah. So special teams. I'm gonna keep it a buck. I don't know what that kicker is doing over there in Florida State. I don't know, if he let's see what he's looking like at Florida State. I know what our kicker does. You know what I mean? I know what our kicker does. So look, they have a kicker, Ryan Fitzgerald. He's 45 for 45 on extra points. He's 11 or 12 from field goal range. So, I mean, he looks to be a solid kicker. We know what we have in Borregales. We know what he does. But the Florida State kicker is actually, doing better than Borregales. If you're looking at the numbers, Borregales has missed the extra point, and he's missed 2 field goals. So, if we're just looking at numbers, I'm gonna have to give the edge to the Florida State kicker. Just looking at the numbers, so that's what I'm gonna have to do. All right, so we don't have really numbers on the punters. Dylan Joyce. I'm going with Dylan Joyce. Forget it. I'm going with Dylan Joyce. Let's look at kickoff returns, though. We got Rashard Smith back there, man. Rashard Smith is dangerous every time he touches the pill. Every time. Averaging 33 yards a return. Every time he has a return touchdown. Rashard Smith needs that ball in his hands. Florida State has had a couple of people return kicks. A guy, Deuce Spann, he only has 4 returns, but he's averaging 46 yards a return and 1 touchdown, but he only has 4 returns. So I can't really count that. But Keon Coleman on punt return, he does his thing. He's averaging 10 yards a punt return. He hasn't scored a touchdown, but he's a very solid punt returner. Our punt return game has been okay. We've had Ray Joseph back there. X has been back there. Jacoby George has been back there. It's really just fair catches for real, unless Ray's back there. I think Rashard should go back there, but whatever. Who am I? But I'm gonna get an edge to Rashard. I'm gonna get an edge to our return team. Rashard is dangerous every time he touches the ball, and I'm not even gonna get into the fact that he should touch the ball way more. But hey, So overall, man, on the offensive side of the ball, again, I've talked about this several times before with my comrades, man. A solid quarterback is vital to success as a college football team. Look around. Just look around. Look what Alabama has done with Jalen Milroe. Think about the first couple of weeks. Think about him getting benched early on. He got benched. After that, he steadily improved. Every week, he's improved. Georgia, solid quarterback play. Ohio State, not so much, but he's gotten better as the weeks has gone on, and he hasn't gotten his team in trouble. He hasn't won them many games, but he hasn't gotten them in trouble. Florida State. Texas. You know, Quinn, he's hurt, but when he wasn't hurt, look what was going on, man. He was doing his thing. All the teams that are solid and getting good play. Louisville, man. Louisville's solid at the quarterback position. Not making too many mistakes. You're going to make mistakes at the quarterback position, but you can't keep hurting your team. So every successful team has a quarterback that doesn't hurt them. Everybody doesn't have a quarterback that's going to win you the game. I think Florida State now probably has that quarterback that you actually need to win you the game. He's going to make the most likely he's going to make plays that's going to actually win you the game. I think Jalen Milroe can do that as well. But Florida State now and Jordan Travis, man, he's the engine that keeps that going. So Miami hasn't had that. So, the results are the results. Defensively, they've been playing solid. The O-line has been more than solid. The running game has been more than solid. The receivers have been solid. When they've had opportunities, they've caught the ball, yak yards, they're blocking their asses off. They've been solid. The one negative is the quarterback position. So that has to change. So, I'm not giving a prediction, man. I think Miami's gonna win. It's Miami all day, man. It's all about this U, man. I think Miami's gonna win. No love for Florida State. I don't care nothing about Florida State. Whatever. Yeah. Yes, I'm being cordial, but I don't care about Florida State. So I got my guys showing up because this is a rivalry game. They're gonna remember what they did last year in Miami. They're gonna remember what happened. And it's time to go, man. 3:30. Please, man, once again, visit the website, man, www.youheardpodcast.com. Matter of fact, man, let's visit this together, man. We're gonna go on there. Let's see what we got. Yeah, man. Let's run through this. Let me see if I can show this to you guys. Yeah, you see it. You see the pod. You see the site, man. Check it out. You got the logo. Episodes drop Mondays and Thursdays. So you could check us out on YouTube. You could check us out on Apple. You could check us out on Spotify. You know what I mean? Connect with us on YouTube. You can connect with us on X. It should be X now, but we still rocking with the Twitter bird. You know what I mean? About us section. You can check the merch out. Yeah, you see it. We live, man. Let them cook. Shirt. We in this motherfucker right now. Wake me up in December. We already know, man. That's recruiting. Wake me up in December, man. We know what's happening. The vintage logo. And we have these in all colors, folks. And the logo. And we got more merch coming. Definitely. You could check out the episodes. All the episodes are on here. Check us out, man. So yeah, definitely hit the site up. Check us out, man. Please again subscribe, like, comment, share. We all in this together, man. Content creators, we all Miami fans. So we all here for this we want to see us succeed. We watch the games together. It's all love, man. Listen, I'll be out there next week, man. Friday to Sunday. So, let's link up Friday. Let's kick it. Saturday, be at the game. Let's kick it. After the game, let's kick it, man. And last home game, let's show up. It's all about that you. Salute to my fellas, man. CB and Benny. It's all about that you, man. Let's go.